I'm a look forward person, not a look behind. And if you define yourself by what your calendar says or another person says or anything, you're doomed to a life of misery. And I don't want to be doomed to it. My joy is non-negotiable.
Kathie Lee Gifford was a beloved co-host of The Morning Show. She also filled a similar role on The Today Show. She left both shows in recent years, but didn't use it as an excuse to retire. Instead, she used the extra time to take on more and more projects. She achieved her dream of being in the movies, she wrote books, she did voice performances, got on stage, and more. All of that activity ended up having drastic consequences. She doesn't regret it, but cautions other women as they age. Keep watching as Kathie Lee Gifford shares an urgent warning after her hospitalization. Joining and leaving The Today Show. Kathie replaced Ann Abernathy as co-host of The Morning Show with Regis Philbin in 1985. It went national as Live with Regis and Kathie Lee in '88. She would also appear with her sportscaster husband Frank and their children. She soon became known for her charm and beauty. TV Guide held a mock poll in 1990 for the most beautiful woman on television. She won handily, receiving 4 times more votes than the runners-up Jacqueline Smith and Nicolette Sheridan. She and Regis got awards for their work. They were nominated 8 years in a row from 1993 to 2000 for Outstanding Talk Show Host Emmys. Kathie Lee Gifford was a co-host on The Today Show from 2008 to 2019. She first announced her departure in 2018. She said in an emotional statement, quote, "It's an exciting time for me and I'm thrilled about all the projects that are coming up, but it's also hard. I've been in this business for 20 years and never worked with a more beautiful group of people who just give every day." She explained the reasoning for her departure in more detail on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon in 2019. Losing her husband, Frank Gifford, in 2015 made her re-examine her priorities. It's the kind of event that makes people realize how little time they have left. She suddenly had the free time to do anything she wanted and realized what she wanted to spend that time on. She jokingly told Jimmy, quote, "I don't want to be the one using my senior discount to go see a movie. I want to make the movie that the seniors are using their discount to come into." That made her shift her career goals. She got to expand and try other types of projects. She independently released albums on CD, including The Heart of a Woman in 2000. She guest starred on shows like Seinfeld. She did voiceovers for characters like Echidna on the 1998 TV series Hercules. She even went on stage for a concert performance of Annie in December 2006. She eventually got into the movies. She wrote the screenplay for the 2020 film Then Came You. She stars in it with Craig Ferguson. She received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2021 for all her efforts. Kathie returned as a guest on The Today Show 7 months after she left. She told viewers that the culture in Tennessee was completely different. It was joyful, kind, and Americana. She made another guest appearance in 2021. She said she was very grateful and felt settled in life. The initial hospitalization. Kathie refuses to focus on her age at all, saying,
"It helps me not to think about how old I am, except for in context of how faithful God has been to me all those years."
It's a healthy mental state to be in, but it can't prevent the physical effects of aging. Kathie had always lived an active lifestyle, running from project to project. It took a toll on her body. She described what it was like going into the hospital for hip surgery. She said,
They had been looking for the problem in my spine. They finally found out what it was.
Yeah.
And by that time, I'd been in such agonizing pain. My doctor finished the surgery, came in to tell me it went beautifully. And then he said, "Kathie, how have you been existing all this time?" He said, "It's one of the worst hips I've ever seen."
The doctors said her active lifestyle had worn her hips down to nubs. She insists she has no regrets, saying,
Now would I live a different kind of life than I've lived? No, this is the life the Lord has given me.
The urgent warning. Kathie was discharged from the hospital after the hip replacement. The moment she began to feel better, she went back to her normal routine. That included moving 300 books by herself during a book signing in Nashville. All of that effort further weakened her body. A friend came to pick her up the next day. She rushed over to meet her and simply tripped. She then went back to the hospital after the traumatic fall that fractured her pelvis in 2 places. She says it was her own fault. She had weakened her body in the spot she fell on and overestimated her recovery. It's a problem that happens often to those recovering from surgeries. In her own words, "Our bones, things like that, don't heal for sometimes months, even though you feel so much better." Kathie also said it was one of the most painful situations of her entire life, more so than the initial surgery. She had to stay in the hospital for a week to get physical therapy. When she was done, she was more than ready to leave. If she could offer some sort of warning to women her age, it wouldn't be to stop working, though. She believes in doing whatever God has given you to do. It also wouldn't be to obsess about your age. It would be to be more careful about what you do as you get older. Recovering at home. Kathie realized she needed to slow down after her hospitalizations. Having a less active lifestyle is difficult for her to adjust to, but she's working on it. As she said, quote, "The Lord is telling me it's time to slow down. I've been running my whole life. The Lord is telling me, you've planted a gazillion roses, try smelling them." She's now focused on spending time with her family, including her grandson, Frankie. She posted pictures of him in a basket of stuffed animals. She thanked her daughter-in-law, Erica, for sending him over on her daughter Cassidy's birthday. Her friends and fans left supportive messages in the comments. Where does she live now? Kathie lives in Nashville, Tennessee. She has a 7,900 square foot home that she bought in 2019 for $3.7 million. It's 2 stories big and has several bedrooms, a furnished basement, and a dream kitchen. The Music City wasn't an unfamiliar area to her. She spent a year there filming the sitcom Hee Haw Honeys in 1978. She also shot the Today Show there during the CMA Festival. It was always her dream to move there. She loved the people and developed a loving group of friends and co-workers. New love? Kathie was married to composer Paul Johnson from 1976 to 83. She was then married to Frank Gifford from 1986 until his death from natural causes at age 84 on August 9, 2015. She and Frank had a son, Cody, and a daughter, Cassidy, and he had 3 children from previous marriages. It was revealed in 1997 that Frank had been cheating on her with a flight attendant. She forgave him, but admitted the event was painful and it tested her faith. Following her love life has been difficult since then. She's been intensely private about it, and rumors are all the world has to give. She told interviewer Rachel Smith, who referred to her as single, that no one knows what's going on in her personal life. She also said, quote, "If the Lord brings another beautiful man into my life, I am not going to talk about it. We'll probably get married privately and tell the world a year later so that nobody's opinion matters." She's also quashed rumors that she'd be on the new dating show The Golden Bachelorette. She doesn't feel she could ever fall in love in a few weeks like the show demands. Rumors of a mystery man in her life began after she left the Today Show. She confirmed she was in a relationship in April of 2021 on an episode of Today with Hoda and Jenna. She wouldn't say who he was, but just that he was a sweet man and they were good for each other, saying,
I am in a relationship. I have been for quite a while now that just is right for me at this time in my life. And I'm grateful for it, but I keep it private so it can stay special.
She doesn't want to fall in love easily and wants to find a man who will treat her right. She said, quote, "My new mantra was going to be, my joy is non-negotiable. I'll negotiate time. I'll negotiate money with you, but my joy, I can't." Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Kathie Lee Gifford? Let us know in the comments section below.